Good morning, everybody. My name is Danny, and I teach in the School of Marketing. And I'm joined by Carolyn Fallas, who is coordinator and teacher in the Center for Business and Finance program, who's going to be walking us through a short presentation today. There's around 7 slides, as you can see on the presentation in front of you. And after that, we'll leave it open for questions and answers. Down at the bottom here on your screen, you'll see that there's a little button for Q&A. So feel free to click on that and type in your question, and I'll make sure that we address them before we leave today. I'm going to turn off the chat, but before I do, take a look there. There is a link that I've posted for you that of an ongoing Q&A session today, and it's also a link to additional sessions. So like there's a student panel session later on this morning. So you can copy and paste that, and it'll bring you to another space that you can check out for more information. Christelle, Christian, and JMD, welcome, and I'll pass it over to Carolyn, who's going to take us through a short presentation.
Well, good morning from Toronto, and welcome. Thank you for taking time out to learn a little bit about George Brown College and what we have to offer you, and most specifically, our finance programs at George Brown. Today, we are going to be talking about our diploma programs in financial planning or finance, whichever way you want to look at it. Realistically, these diploma programs, and I will go through them from a high level for you so you understand how they're both positioned, but they are really positioned to be diploma programs in personal finance or personal financial planning. So, the courses that you would take over 2 to 3 years are quite extensive. And of course, you can go on our website and see the specific courses. But, you will start off from, and there is absolutely no prerequisite knowledge that you need to enter. Many of our students, of course, are high school students that are joining us for the first time. And there would be minimum requirements to enter in perhaps English and math, but we do not expect that you are mathematicians or that you, can write a book. Certainly, we take you from ground zero, if you will, to the point where you can jump off to your chosen career in personal finance. And what does that look like? We're talking about jobs and careers where you would be working in banks, insurance companies, other financial institutions, and our programs, as you will see, are very well aligned to many external certifications in the industry that will help you as you navigate your career and want to specialize in certain areas. The way our programs are set up are that they are directly interconnected in the sense that the B133 program, I'm going to get out my handy dandy little marker here. B133 is a 2-year diploma program. That when we talk about years, we presume that we are talking about 2 semesters per year. So overall, this is a 4-semester program, okay? Similarly, the advanced diploma is a 6-semester program, and most students would do it over 3 years, okay? The first 2 years of B33 B133 are the first 2 years of B130-150. So it really doesn't matter if you register or apply to get into B133 and you think that you would like to stay for the 3rd year, absolutely you can do that. Similarly, some students enter with us and think that they're going to want to stay for the 3-year program, and they choose to go back or just finish after 2 years. And that's absolutely okay. Do you need to make that decision today? No. But, apply for the program that you think you would most be aligned with. But I guess what I'm saying is even once you join us, you have absolutely options ahead of you to make a change. We also have a degree in personal finance, which these programs stream you towards that degree also. And if you, enjoy your education so much that you decide that you will want to pursue a degree for various reasons, your best degree to go to would be our B302 Bachelor of Commerce in Finance. We have set these programs up so they scaffold to each other so that you have pathways and choice along the way. I will come back to the four semester and 6 semester in a little while to tell you how this also could be working to your advantage, the way our B133 and 130, 150 are set up. As far as our industry credentials, what do our programs align you to? So if you always should be probably prepared as you enter into a career that you might have to take additional training or certifications upon throughout your life. So both B133 and B130, 150 teach you the curriculum that you would need to know if you wanted to write the Canadian Securities course. Okay, the Canadian Securities course is a course that many financial institutions like their employees to have. It is offered by the Canadian Securities Institute. We teach you the curriculum. We have courses that basically mirror the same content, but if you wanted to get the actual sort of certificate from Canadian CSI, you have to write their exam in addition to ours. You will get the course. We will teach you a Canadian investments course, but you would have to write their exam also. So the Canadian Securities course for most people is self-study. So we take that self-study out of your hands and we basically teach you what you need to know to pursue those credentials. If you are interested in life insurance in your future career, we will have taught you through our insurance course the content that you would need to become certified to sell life insurance. And as far as a career in financial planning, the 2-year diploma is extremely well aligned with our lower level, the lower level credential that FP Canada offers. So FP Canada is best known for offering the CFP credential, but they have more entry level credential called the QAFP. And upon completion of our 2-year diploma, you can go straight to them and write their exam. All right, certainly if you finish B130, 150, you also have that opportunity. However, where you start to see the distinction between the 2-year and the 3-year program is that it is only the advanced diploma that has all the curriculum that you need to go towards the CFP. And you should also know that effective April 1st, 2022, you will need to have a degree to pursue your CFP credential. So, you may, even if you finish B130, 150, you may choose to go on and finish our degree. Some students actually do take our diploma program, but choose to finish their degree in something else. Maybe you have an ancillary interest, or so they finish our advanced diploma and then choose to get a degree at another institution. Again, if you are in these streams, the best degree for you to take as far as timeliness is our B133, which then has a direct pathway into our degree program if you meet GPA requirements. And there's maybe an extra bridge course that you will have to take. As of right now, we're trying to work that out. But we have very efficient pathways to go from our diploma streams into our degree. Students are always asking about co-op. That's a great opportunity for you to sort of understand the industry that in which you are entering, okay? In the diploma stream, of course, with 2 years with us at George Brown College, there's not really enough time for you to have a co-op. In the 3-year diploma, we do offer in the stream that's called B150 a co-op option, and that allows you to, you will take a special co-op preparation course, and that gets you all employment ready. And then you will work with our co-op office or work experience office, if you will, to land a work opportunity that would meet your work experience requirements. So students really like that because they have had opportunities to enter the industry, even to get certain financial institutions on their resume. That always looks really good, and it will be your first step in understanding and navigating perhaps what it is that you want to do in the long run. Having said, and what we have done, and we're very proud of this at George Brown College, is given the pandemic, last year we found that, co-op opportunities were less prevalent than they used to be. And so what we actually have done in our financial planning area is we've created what we call our financial planning hub. And that is when, we have students, instead of doing a co-op, is we bring clients to them, and you actually are doing financial plans for them, real life clients, under the direction of a faculty. So we're very proud of that. We're offering it again this summer. Of course, that would be closer to your 7th semester that you'd be doing that, because we want you to have as much financial planning experience and knowledge as possible. All right. Just to make sure you understand your pathways, a lot of the students that come to us at George Brown College, they want to pursue a financial planning credential that is offered by FP Canada. As I mentioned, in the B133 and the B130-150, of course, the core education is met. All right, so since B133 is the first 2 years of B130-150, if B133 meets the core education requirement, that's fine. And that will allow you, once you do the core education at George Brown College, as I mentioned, to go straight to the QAFP exam. Of course, that exam is offered by FP Canada, an external source, but they have approved all of our curriculum as a good curriculum. They have to approve our curriculum to allow you entry into the QAFP exam. Once you pass the QAFP, you then will have your choice if you would like to take their fundamental course. That's a post qualification course. And, the one thing I always tell students is once you earn the QAFP, nobody can ever take that away from you. You will have that for the rest of your career, whether you remain in the field of financial planning or not. The QAFP, although it sounds like the lower level credential, these would be, mid-level jobs in the retail banking sector. This would be, in financial planning firms, what the mid-level associates might need to have. They don't necessarily all need to be CFPs, but this could align you for a very good and prevalent career. Okay, what if you're interested more in the CFP certification? So as I mentioned, B133 only gives you this step, okay? If you are interested in CFP, then you would either, after the B133, go to the degree, or you can finish your B130, 150, which will give you this box also. That's all the education that you can get outside of FP Canada before you go on to the CFP exam, which is here. This course here has to be done through FP Canada. So George Brown can't take you any further than here. So we take you as far as we can. Again, keep in mind that once April 1st of next year hits, which it would probably apply, it would come and go before you graduate, you will need a degree to go to CFP certification. So why should you come to George Brown College for your financial planning education? And how do we differ from our competitors, if you will? I'm sure that you are looking around at all of the, and so you should do your research at all of the other financial planning programs in the GTA and even the outskirts. Well, first and foremost, with FP Canada, we are approved by FP Canada directly. We do not offer anybody else's curriculum. So some of the other schools that you might be looking at, they might offer courses for CS within their classroom from Canadian Securities Institute or the Canadian Institute of Financial Planning. They give you their textbooks and they give you their tests. This is all great because those programs are also approved by FP Canada. But what that means is whenever there's a change in curriculum, the professors and the post-secondary institutions are relying on a third party to update their materials. We control our own curriculum. So if a tax rule changes tomorrow, I can have it in my notes the next day. It will be reflected in my next test. Presumably as long as I have taught it to you. So we are for sure, this ability that we control our own curriculum. We don't rely on external sources for providing us our tests. Absolutely gives us a huge leg up as far as accuracy and relevance. We are very engaged with FP Canada. We have lots of CFP professionals on staff, and we are volunteers, and we are on the ground knowing what they are doing. So that is very good. And we have some of the best faculty also on staff that are very connected with the Canadian Securities Institute. So we all sort of play a role to make sure that we have the best knowledge possible to prepare our students for whatever the next step it would take. The one great thing that students have told us we like, and just so you know, B133, the 2-year diploma, is fairly young. I'm going to say it came out maybe just 2 years ago. But students love the fact that they have that flexibility. Sometimes we've had students in our B133 or B130, 150 program, they intended to stay for 3 years and they decided to graduate after 2 years because they're just going to go do the QAFP. You might have heard of the PFP, which is the financial planning credential that the Canadian Securities Institute offers. It is the same level as the QAFP. In fact, people who hold the PFP in industry, FP Canada will grant them the QAFP. So a lot of people in industry have, historically tried to compare the CFP and the PFP. It was sort of like comparing apples and oranges, and the QAFP, which is a great credential, is the same as the PFP from CSI. We have a great faculty base. We have the most CFP professionals on staff, probably across Canada for any post-secondary institution. But the great thing about many of our faculty, including myself, is I still do I'm active in the industry, still planning and still volunteering. I, am very active in the tax community, which happens to be my specialty. So we can bring relevance to the classroom. Okay. Our graduates have been strong. And that gives us a great reputation. And through our graduates and our reputation, our career fair has been successful in placing many students. Just this past a few weeks ago, some students from our B130, 150 program competed in the National Financial Planning Case Competition, and we placed second. So that's also a feather in our cap that we are a force to be reckoned with. Now I want to go back and talk about this duration, okay? This is the most interesting thing, and I'm already anticipating some of the questions that you might have. But the one great thing, and I would actually call it one of our competitive advantages over any other program, is our diploma courses are offered every semester 3 times a year. Okay, so it's not like there's semester 1 courses, semester 2 courses. Well, if you miss a semester 2 course, for example, because maybe you have heavy workload or you have a family issue, you can pick it up the next semester. Okay, so there's lots of flexibility as far as timing your courses. Having said that, you always have to watch for prerequisites, but in general, and that's my job as coordinator to help you map out your learning path if you need to deviate from what's set out for you. But the 4 semesters, we have seen some students, if they choose not to take the summer off, that they will go 4 semesters consecutively. So if you enter in September, first semester would go to December, and then 3 more semesters the next year, because you go through the summer. You could actually finish this program in 1 year and 3 months or 4 months. And lots of students like that option. The next question I always get is students are coming to this program and they're like, Carolyn, I'm really nervous about taking 6 courses per year. I have to work part-time. I have to support my family, whatever it might be. I cannot, and 6 courses plus, 25 hours a week is too much. And that student is probably right. So what I often recommend to that student is to take 4 courses per semester all year long. So a normal year would give you 12 courses, but instead of taking 6 courses in September and 6 courses in the winter, instead, why don't you just go to school all year long, taking 4 courses? And in 1 calendar year, you'll still get your 12 courses. And that allows you to not fall behind. You'll still finish in 2 years, but you have the flexibility to be able to work all year long and go to school all year long. And we are one of the only institutions that I know that has such a large offering of courses, especially in the summer. And that doesn't even span all of our programs, but for these diploma programs, it does. So I do teach in other programs where that does not exist. So some students like that flexibility. Last but not least, because there's always questions about scheduling. These 2 diploma programs are what are called course-based programs. So you get to pick and choose your schedule. Especially in first year, there are multiple sections of each course. So you get to choose if you want to take math on Monday morning at 8 o'clock or Wednesday at noon. And you can pretty much build your schedule. Having said that, when you get to the more advanced courses, there might only be one section. So then, estate planning is going to be on Thursday from 3 to 6, and you might not have choice for that. So these are just some of the things as I've talked through, many info sessions and open houses in the past that students often will ask me. So I really wanted to bring those points up for you. So now I can open it up to see if there's any questions.
There's one question there. Sorry.
Oh yeah, let's see it.
Is it best to take Bachelor of Commerce Finance straight, or do it step by step, where we take BA Finance first?
Okay, I think this question is asking, should I enter for the degree, or should I enter through a diploma and then try to translate over to the degree? I'm hoping that's what this question will ask. So there's pros and cons to both approaches, okay? If you know for sure that you want to graduate with a Bachelor of Commerce in Finance, and just so you know, our Bachelor of Commerce, you enter the first year and you don't actually have to choose your major between accounting and finance until after first year. But that's aside. You know that that's your end goal, then absolutely it is probably best to enter as in the Bachelor of Commerce. Okay, a few reasons why. The Bachelor of Commerce at George Brown College, and one of our great selling features of that program, if you will, is that compared to a BCom that you will get at U of T, or even a smaller school like Laurier, those classes are huge. Okay, at George Brown College, our Bachelor of Commerce classes are relatively small, and you get to know the people in your classes, and especially as you venture and specialize in the higher years, the finance students will sort of go this way and the accounting students go this way. You know your peers right from the get-go. But you enter in, and a lot of the cohorts for the whole Bachelor of Commerce program are 100 students. So you rarely will have a class that's over 40. And as you go on, I'm just finished teaching in the 4th year of the Bachelor of Commerce Finance. My class was 23 students. And, I was at the disadvantage because they all knew each other from their years to working together, and I didn't know them as well. So if you know that's what you want to do, I encourage you to enter that way. You'll build a great network. It almost is like a family. And that is one of the things that the students love the most about our degree program compared to any of the competition. If you're not 100% sure, or you're not sure that you want to commit to 4 years taking financial planning curriculum or accounting or finance curriculum, then I often will encourage students, enter through the diploma. And if this is your thing, you will know through your grades, you will know through your level of interest, you will know through all of those things. And then for you, by the time you enter, I believe that the most effective pathway as we are working on it now will be from the 2-year diploma right into the degree. And it'll be another 2, we call it the 2+2. It'll be 2+2, although there might be a little bit more there for you. But essentially, it's an efficient and effective pathway. We've worked on it. So then if you would like to get that degree requirement for FP Canada purposes, or just a degree, after 2nd year in the diploma, you'll know if this is for you. And then that would be a great time to make a switch. The great thing is that the step that's not as easy, you can always start in the Bachelor of Commerce and go backwards back to the diploma, but that's not quite, that's sort of a little bit more of an expensive and cumbersome route for you. So if you know you want a degree, I say go start with the degree. But if you're a little bit unsure about either the content, the career path, start in the diploma, and then we can transition you right into our degree. Of course, you need a 3.0 GPA to make that move, which makes sense, because we want you to set you up to succeed. And that's what we're all about.
Do you have time for one last question?
Okay, great. Are domestic students required to do a placement test if they have already been accepted to the business finance program at George Brown College? I'm not sure, Danny, do you know that? I think if they've been accepted, if it's based upon high school marks or what have you, I don't think that you have to do a placement test.
Yeah, I think if you're accepted, they're going to give you any direction to any supplemental testing that's required based on your acceptance. So I'd say if you're already accepted, you're probably already accepted and you don't have to do anything if they haven't told you otherwise.
I would say so also. There are sometimes students who want to do a test because the one other great thing about entering into these diploma programs is if you feel that if your weakness is math, let's just say, you can choose to take, and I don't know the course codes, nor do they need to know, but like an introductory math course that will sort of bridge you into the, first year math course, and some students like to do that ahead of time. But I believe that if they've accepted you based upon your credentials to date, and they have not specified in your acceptance that you need to do more testing, I think you're just fine.